Where's Jake?
Who cares?
In the arms of an angel.
Hey guys, I'm back.
Yeah, Dakota's here.
For a day.
He's
Hey,
not dead.
I'm guaranteed here next week too.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Dude, you could literally die between now and then. I hope Mom's not watching.
No.
Why would you say that?
They will bring my corpse to the show. I will
It'll be like,
I thought you were
I
going
will
to say
be
to
here.
work, they like prop you up.
it's going to be weekend at Acropolis. It's perfect.
No.
Why not?
No.
Dead people smell. I'm just saying. That's one thing those movies didn't take into account.
We could
I need to
embalm him
watch
first.
those, though. Those, I think, are...
Do you really start stinking after 2 days?
Dude,
I thought it was like longer than that.
I mean,
I bet you smell pretty
you would
fast.
at least start to bloat by then, right?
How
I
fast
think
do...
that's like. I think it's like 72
Comment
hours.
section. How
I
fast
mean,
does it take
maybe
for a
I-
body to start decomposing?
Yeah, we have 2 viewers.
Yeah, we
Well,
got time to talk
Get
about
to
this.
work, 2
And they're
viewers.
obviously CSIs. Eli.
We have 4. So, okay. So before we get into the...
Meat and taters.
Yeah, the turkey,
This
if you
means
will.
meat and taters?
Dude, listen, we're going to come up... By the end of this
Yes,
thing...
just like this means kissing.
Brad,
On camera.
Don't do that.
I was going to
Okay.
say this means cooking spaghetti.
Yeah. Hey, can we get you a shirt that says "Great Value, Tony"?
No. That was something else.
I sense a Christmas present.
But yeah, we got to get some merch, man. Tony, can you help me with on the merch front? Because I'm bad at it.
Probably.
we know.
Okay.
I could
Honestly,
design
like,
some stuff.
We have given you tons of ideas. You're just bad at like calling someone and like, hey, make me merch.
It's not that easy though, because you got to come with like Tony's a design guy, but we'll come to that later.
GCGT.
I don't know what that means.
1 month away.
Oh,
Glass
Glass City
City.
GT. Yeah, we're gonna be there. You going?
No.
Ask him
Surprise.
if Jason, are there paint requirements this year?
He said no. Like, why not?
I'm pretty sure.
I think there were last year.
I need
there
to get
were.
on.
That's all right. I don't have to paint my wyverns now with chapter approval. We'll get to that.
They're already painted.
Yeah, I know.
They're Tim's models. Hold on.
That's fair. Shut up. What's funny is there's somebody was in here the other day. Like,
Whoa,
you don't even
Jason
paint your
just
stuff.
said something dark. Oh, okay. We're gonna not draw attention to that anymore.
Wow.
But yeah, I definitely want to go to Glass City.
We're going, bro.
What was the 3-color minimum, Brad?
3-color.
I'm working on chaos stuff right now.
You got an airbrush,
I
bro.
probably won't.
You can literally get
that's
2
not
colors
gonna,
out of
That's
that.
not going to work on Space Marines.
Why not?
Why
Too
not?
small.
What are you talking about?
They're too. Space Marines are too small.
You base coat them with that, bro.
Ask Ted. Because
Yeah. Ask
Have you
Ted.
ever asked Ted
It
anything
doesn't-
about painting?
he can knock 10 of those out and probably.
Listen, man.
Okay,
Ted
look,
literally
this is
painted
Ted.
10 Imperial Fists the day we did the.
You're right.
We
You're
did
right.
the-
I'm
the
just as
demo.
good of a painter as Ted.
Went home and painted over them.
With an airbrush.
I would.
It's not.
I would say. I would say I
What's
can
the
paint
stuff
as
he
good as
doesn't-
Ted.
Huh?
I think I can paint as good as Ted.
Okay.
I don't
He
think
can
you
do
can
it
do it
way
as fast
faster.
as
No, I was
Ted.
gonna
He does
say,
it way faster.
That's
Ted's
the
primary
key.
thing
Yeah.
is like the sheer like
You know why he does
the
it faster?
quality he
Why?
can get at the
Because of an
speed he
airbrush.
can get there.
No, Ted does
No.
not do much airbrushing.
No.
He
Yeah.
does do airbrushing, but like he prefers a brush because he's just done it
Yeah,
for a
all,
while.
like,
Brittany
a
said
lot
she'll
of my
design
Thousand
for you.
Sons models that he did,
She'll
most of
design
it
for you.
was.
Yeah,
most
Hey,
of it
Brittany,
was
so you
handmade.
don't work tomorrow at 10 or 7. I lied. You work Thursday.
Brittany, you work on Thursday.
Yeah,
lied.
tomorrow off.
Make sure you respond.
What a way to.
I forgot about it.
We're
I was
getting
like,
so disjointed now.
Yeah,
All
it's true.
Like-
Let's get back
all right.
to
So listen,
meat and potatoes.
we're
Hold
going.
on, hold on.
No, hang on. We want to talk about something before meat and taters. Like what's happening in the world. We're almost done with Mandalorian episode 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've thought about starting episode 2.
I'm waiting for my Blood Bowl team to
Why
get
don't
here.
you just buy a Baby Yoda Funko Pop?
Just call it good.
Call it good.
Okay,
Carry
so
it around
listen.
with me. That's the episode.
I'm the guy. I've become the guy. Okay, so when I scroll through
I
Facebook,
want to be the guy.
And no, you don't want to be this guy.
Yeah,
And when
it's
I see my friends on Facebook post something that I don't agree with, I've become the person I have to chime in, and I don't like that.
We know.
You're me last year. Get ready to get blocked.
Year ago, Tony.
Listen, I'm
Great value.
I'm like okay. So Pete, right? Jantos.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, I love the Mandalorian," and I was like, "I have to say something." And
I have to say, I have to intervene here.
I wasn't rude about it, but I was, I just really
Doesn't matter.
feel like that's fair. They're probably like, "Shut up! I don't care what you think." And to be fair, I shouldn't say anything. I just keep scrolling.
A couple weekends ago, whenever I went to Columbus with Josiah, he said something that resonated with me. Was I got like a cotton candy flavored drink. I was like, yeah, a lot of people judge me because I like cotton candy. He's like, hey, I'm not gonna yuck your yum.
Yuck your yum.
That's kind of cool.
And I was like, oh, no, not enough people do that. Everyone always has an opinion if you like something that they dislike. And
That's fair.
Dude, actually, Eli posted something recently. It was, I forget exactly what it said, but it's pretty much saying if you enjoy something, don't let somebody make you feel stupid for it.
I
We got
agree with
like
that.
60 comments.
Was a lot of people trying to make them feel stupid for that?
Some of them were. Some of them were. But
ironic.
it's a true point. Like sometimes your rhetoric, sometimes not your, but sometimes our rhetoric makes people feel dumb
I
for
mean,
liking things.
sometimes.
That is not.
Yeah.
That is definitely not my intent. Like critiquing the Mandalorian. Like there's a lot of people that I've talked to that really, really enjoy it, and I just
See, but it's how you said that. There's a lot of people that like it, but I think they're dumb.
well, no, see but that's not what I said or what I was going to say.
But it's
I was
a
gonna-
preface point. Like you could say,
No, what
The
I'm saying is
Mandalorian
I
good.
can't just leave it be. Like, oh, you liked it? That's awesome, man. Like,
Yeah, you
I
always
have to be
want
like,
to
Exactly. You have to make it about them.
Well,
That's
what
their
you're
taste.
No, it's not. I don't think it's about
That's
your
what
taste.
I
I think you're just a. I think,
I
you're
think
just
it's because
an
it's something-
opinionated person.
Well,
just,
it's not, it's not only,
I don't agree with that.
it's
No,
not-
I'm just kidding.
It's not only that.
Wait, quick, Brad.
This isn't the Attack Tim show.
Brad, voice this in
I'm
a
not
post.
trying. I'm not trying to. I'm
I'm not
just
saying
trying
I
to.
disagree with you. I'm just
Oh,
trying
okay.
to.
Oh,
Hands up. I think when it comes to it, for all of us, when we want to enjoy something, like we have hopes for it, then it's disappointing. We want
Absolutely.
to comment on it,
absolutely.
and so like when there's something that people like that we don't care about, like we don't mention like, well, I don't like it for this reason.
That's a really good point.
It's something that we want.
That's
to,
a super good point.
I don't
want
I
to
don't-
really
that
like what you
actually
just can't.
doesn't happen though.
What are you talking about? If somebody
do
likes
you
soccer,
like Magic?
No.
How often do you make sure we know you don't like Magic?
I didn't know you didn't like
Not
Magic.
That's not
not
true.
as much.
Wow.
I post no. The thing is, I post things
don't-
on Facebook about Magic, and I post things on the store posts things, and he doesn't comment negative things about Magic.
Yeah, I don't.
Dude,
Even in store when people are enjoying Magic, he doesn't come up to them and
I don't-
interrupt them and
Call
say,
him
I think no.
it's
I have been in this store where Tim has been playing Magic, and he's called him an asshole for playing Magic.
Yeah, but that's me though. Like
no, I
that's
get
yeah,
it, but you're trying to say stuff doesn't happen when it does
I'm not
happen
saying
all the
less
time.
frequently. It
I
happens
would say
way
people are less
frequently.
apt to comment on something that they are not passionate, like they don't care about. So like if Travis always posts hockey scores, right? And like I'm like, dude, why? First of all, why are you a fan of like the Sabres? Like whatever, Buffalo Sabres. But I don't say anything because I don't care. You know what I mean? But when somebody says the Mandalorian's fantastic, I'm not saying
Yeah,
it's a
but
good
you're
thing.
interjecting your opinion on something regardless of whether they enjoyed it or not.
No, he's talking about the person. Like I wouldn't say anything.
Right, but what I'm saying is if you have the negative
Jason
opinion of
Shisheli's
it,
just like, I like soccer.
people do. And they do it all the time.
Go back home,
That's
you
not
commie.
Oh, jeez.
I agree, but I guess I meant with us. I prefaced this with the way we comment on stuff on Facebook. Typically, is if we care about the subject, then we negatively comment on people's posts.
That's fair. And I think
I don't
like,
think I post. I don't think unless I'm trying to be purposely argumentative to get a rise out of someone.
I've never
which
seen
rare-
it out of you.
which rarely happens.
But at the
Which
same
rarely
point,
happens.
if I enjoy something, I want my friends to enjoy it too. So hearing that backlash sometimes is like it makes you feel like me as that person makes me feel like I'm stupid for liking it.
We used to talk about that a
Sometimes
lot
you are.
in 2016.
joking.
We used to do that a lot because I used to always say the Flash was trash,
Yeah.
and I
That
still,
just sounds catchy.
yeah, I still think that it's a
that's,
very bad
catchy.
concept for a superhero, but it's not.
Super speed? Why? No, it's not.
No, not super speed.
what it's
running
evolved
fast.
into.
Running
It's-
fast.
But it's not running fast. It's super speed.
But that's all they. That's fair. But that's all they ever depict.
Because what? How else are you going
At
to
any
employ
rate,
your super speed?
No, because
He
you
moves like an
no,
inch,
no,
but at
guys,
super
guys, Let's
speeds.
not devolve here. You've never experienced the media, so you can't say that.
Oh, I've seen the show.
You've seen episodes of the show, not in its entirety. They
And-
talk about how he can think and perceive
Which is way cooler. Which is
much
way cooler.
faster, right?
But he's not thinking fast on the cover of comics. He's running fast. I'm just
They
saying.
talk-
because
that's
that's,
from the
I
comics.
get
That's how
it.
you
I get
employ
it.
the power.
I get it.
I
It's
would
come
love
from
the
the comic
I would
book.
love the
get
cover
it.
of the comic just to
Wait,
be a
him
thought
thinking-
bubble.
standing
him
there.
thinking
Thought
fast.
bubble with a million words.
Wouldn't
It's
perception?
probably been done.
That would be cool.
Hold on. Wouldn't
What?
super fast perception be like a requirement for super speed?
Why'd you just run into walls?
Yeah, I mean that's part of it. But,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying is like you're saying somebody can just run really fast.
Yeah, but that's not just
what
it.
it
That's
is.
fair. But my point about the whole Flash thing was like,
can't believe I defended it, and he's trying to make a point to like help, like enforce what I was trying to say. Like, you asshole.
There's no. There's
Falling
no
apart.
just because I don't like something. Like I was talking. We were talking about this
Brittany
earlier
says
today.
gotta go fast.
How I ruined Jake said I was a terrible person earlier today. So.
Yeah. Say
he
that.
says it a lot, but I mean, how much of it is true?
Well, he said it to my face.
finish,
this time.
finish your statement. Like, that doesn't make it not true.
No, I don't remember.
Jason
we were
said
talking
the
about, like,
Flash is
arguing.
how Tim got his police record.
We were talking about.
I don't get it.
Me neither.
We're talking about like subtle things,
Oh, I get it
responses
now.
that we do as people.
Yeah, like, and I don't.
Wow.
That's not our intentions.
No, it's definitely not my intention to like condescend to somebody that likes something, like somebody that likes The Mandalorian, and just because I think it's like lukewarm, I don't even think it's like bad per se. I just think it's like
It's not the Last Jedi.
It's
okay
definitely not The Last
It's okay
Jedi.
to critique things, but how you go about it can be kind of.
See, my problem is like I get passionate about things, and like I just can't. There's not that
You
middle
get
ground.
passionate about disliking things.
That's fair.
You get like this fire
I do
behind you
too.
where you're like, I think that's bad and I want everyone to know it.
And you're dumb. And
I
you're
can
dumb
resonate
for
with
liking
that.
it.
No, I
That
don't.
you don't think that, but that goes right along with it.
That's
It's the
fair.
inverse,
That's fair.
you know?
And I don't want anybody to think they're dumb. Like, listen, I love Ted, right? But that guy likes some horrible films. Horrible.
He was talking about how he likes Sharknado.
Yeah, and then that's the thing. Like, that's almost intentionally. Like, yeah, I like bad stuff.
Almost.
Yeah.
I just saw this meme the other day where it's like, hey, if you ever think that you're about to pitch a bad idea to your friends, remember at some point there was a meeting where someone sat down and said, let's make a movie about sharks in a tornado.
Yeah.
You know what's dumber than that? Having
And it
Leia
was
fly through
massively
space.
successful.
Leia flying through space is dumber than sharks in a tornado.
Speaking of
It's
flying
not
through space,
Far.
speaking of flying through
man.
space, let's talk about flying through space in the 41st millennium.
Oh,
Okay,
that
I love
segue,
how
though.
it segues. over
Brad,
into this.
you need to get a job in
I'm
radio.
a Segway machine,
I
man.
subtle
I'm gonna
AF.
buy you a Segway for Christmas.
Yeah, I just scoot around on that thing.
You'll probably die on it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Before
I'll Segway right in the traffic.
I don't want to have to tell your mother I'm the
Before we
reason
board
you
the
died.
segue,
Before we board the segue, before we move on to 40K and away from the what's poppin', Tony saw it. Did anyone else see the Black Widow trailer?
I did
I
not.
have
Sarah
not,
mentioned it to
no.
me this morning. She said it looked pretty good.
Dude,
didn't
it
know.
looks good. I'm sorry. It looks good, but it looks like they used their best scenes in the trailer, which is just stupid. Like,
That happens a lot.
There's a lot of good scenes in that trailer.
Something you do
Is
a
this is this movie gonna be in theaters or is it a Disney Plus?
it's in theaters. I still like. I'm gonna go see it. It looks good, but I still have the stance that we don't need it.
I don't
It
think
shouldn't
she
have been
probably-
made.
Her
Probably
character is
not.
very well fleshed out.
Lukewarm. It doesn't matter.
Completely agree.
She doesn't need a standalone movie.
yeah,
They should have just kept her alive.
She never had one before. Yeah,
If they wanted
Well,
to create content,
it looks
with her-
like watch the trailer, but
Okay.
it looks like they're introducing the next generation,
that's fair. That's fair. And
which there were multiple of them in the
Yeah.
comic book. So,
well, they can always like bring her Natasha back too. Like, we'll just go get her from.
dude,
you know-
if they do, they break their own rules. That's going to be a pretty big thing for comic book nerds to get over.
yeah,
Jason, please buy us that monitor. We beg of you.
yeah, it's super hard to keep track of what people are saying. But okay, anything else? that's poppin'?
It may not be needed, but I think it's fine. I think that at first I do think it's gonna be successful.
Oh,
and
it's Disney.
I yeah.
It can be bad.
It's
but
an MCU
it'll
movie.
still make.
Which one?
Well,
And
I mean,
I think
yeah.
I think
Always plan
I think a lot of people have been asking for it. So whether it's needed or not, I think
Really?
a lot of
A lot of people
for
are
years, for a lot of
a
years.
lot of people are asking for this movie for the wrong reasons.
That's fair. A lot of people wanted the
Oh,
first.
definitely buy us that monitor.
A lot of people wanted a Black Widow movie before Captain Marvel, and a lot of people like
If
Black
it
Widow
would
over
have,
more than
if
Captain
it would
Marvel.
have came out before Wonder Woman, it had a spot. But it's.
I would
we're-
argue
we're-
Captain Marvel had a spot anyway. It's
but-
the way
no, I'm
Brie
talking about
Larson.
the Black Widow movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like there's no reason to have
Now
it
it's hitching the trailer to
Exactly.
success,
Yeah.
right?
It's just playing to an agenda.
I also
at this
don't.
point.
That's fair. I don't like origin stories of a character that we've already literally seen the beginning
This
and
doesn't,
end of.
this doesn't look like an origin.
Doesn't look like an
Okay, that's
origin.
fair. That's fair.
Okay.
You could have seen it if you would have had a monitor because he played.
Can I
it
have
forever
your
and ever.
tablet?
Oh yeah, here. No, get out.
I mean, like, I want to own it.
I mean,
Yeah, you can buy
I
your own.
keep up on my
I've
phone.
been watching a lot of
Okay.
Bernie Sanders videos, so that's technically mine.
Oh,
I can't argue with that.
that's how politics
it over.
works.
I also don't want to jump to the conclusion that they're making it for an agenda's sake because there shouldn't be that shouldn't be a stigma every time they make a woman superhero movie. So like, I want to watch it first to see because it could
That's
have.
true. That's
No,
true.
I agree. I
but the
agree.
entire reason it got made was
Is
for that
the agenda. I agree. But like, you can still like it could still be a quality product.
Yeah.
Like Captain Marvel was an agenda-based movie, and then she made sure that the viewers knew that, right? And then it did bad, and people were like, "Oh, that's because people are
Well, it didn't
men
do
are
bad.
misogynists."
No, it actually was very successful.
You're thinking of
I understand, but it didn't do as well as like.
No,
Oh, it did do
it did
well. in the
amazing.
openings. That's
Yeah,
right.
it did
That's
really
You're
right.
thinking
well.
of the Charlie's Angels movie that just came
That's
out.
right.
That's very true. That bombed.
That
Garbo.
But it also wasn't hitched to the Marvel trailer either.
Oh,
you know what I
and
mean?
that director made sure we could talk about that for an hour.
Yeah.
But,
No, but I hope this movie does very well. You know what I mean? Because I think it will do better probably than Captain Marvel. Because I don't know. I could be wrong. People might not like the character as much as I think they
If
do.
anything,
people love
I
Scarlett
think.
Johansson.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I was gonna say. If
she
if
is that
anyone
character
deserved,
to me. You know what I mean?
If anyone in the world deserved this movie over anyone, it is Scarlett Johansson.
The cast
Yeah.
looks really good.
So
She's been such
cast?
like
Yeah.
an important character throughout so many films without having her own standalone
yeah,
movie.
so like just
Well,
for the
she's-
sake for Scarlett Johansson, I'm glad this is being made.
Understand that she is a support character.
Yeah,
Like, that's
sure.
entirely
Sure.
her job.
And, and that's perfectly
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, there's
I'd
nothing
be
wrong with
okay
it.
with it like
Yeah.
continuing to exist that way.
Yeah.
I
we
think I
don't need a
would've-
standalone movie like.
I think
Yeah,
it
do
would
we
be
need a
better.
Hawk? Do we need a Hawkeye
everybody else
movie?
look better.
There's not gonna be a Hawkeye.
I know
movie.
that, but there's a Hawkeye show.
Yeah,
right?
I want to see that.
The show might be fine. I just don't know if the
Jason,
movie
I
is
will
a
ban
different.
you.
I think a Black Widow show probably
I
would
talk
have
all the
maybe
time.
been better than a movie.
No, what's that?
A Black Widow show might have been better for a movie. 'Cause you can get a lot of that secret agents kind of drama and intrigue in a show captured a lot better than.
I feel like they'd make it too episodic.
2-hour
though.
movie.
You know what I mean? Like I gotta go get the Black Diamond this week. You know what I mean?
like a crime show.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying like every week there's a new like.
I want it like that. I would hope that it was like a 10
I'm not
episode
saying it would be that way. but
long drama, but
I think the TV series is we've talked about this before. It's the best medium to tell the full
Character
story.
development.
here's
works
something that
much
Brad
better.
would be interested in. I've heard nothing but good reviews over The Witcher.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
I really hope they do that.
I mean,
really
I've
hope
I've
they do
actually,
that.
I've
afraid-
actually already heard that they're signed up for a second season.
I had heard
and
that
it
as
hasn't
well.
even
I'm
released
afraid
yet.
because the reviews are like pushing pretty hard. They're like this, like one review I saw was like makes Game of Thrones look like trash or something like that.
Well,
That's
that's
not
because
hard to
it
do.
ended in trash.
I was thinking about that the other day. What do you think? What would you mark Game of Thrones out of 10 now? Now that it's a completed.
I'm sorry, Jason. I tried.
Do you want me to like
We'll come back to it.
do
I
the,
just-
the entirety of the show?
Yeah.
Do you know
See,
that? Do you know
full-
that picture of the horse?
Yep. That's so funny.
That's exactly Game of Thrones.
But you have to give it a grade now for the body of
The
work.
very last season takes away a lot.
That's what I was thinking.
It makes a lot of the good stuff in the beginning kind of meaningless.
Yeah, it makes me want to not go back and watch the first couple seasons.
I'd give it a 6.
I was thinking like 75% out of 100.
I was thinking. I was thinking a grade point like a C to C minus. So
Which would be what?
70, I guess.
What do you think?
A 6.67.
Brad's never
I give it
watched-
an
I
A,
know.
man.
A 6 or a 7.
I think
that last season.
I think it's a 6.
I only
for me.
watched the first
I
one.
think that it weighed it down that much, and that was like
What'd you say you're
a
getting?
6.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because
And
like
that's
the,
only because the first 2 seasons were so good.
I would have given.
Well, I would say
If I
like
was
the
judging
first
just
4
based on
seasons were
1 through 5, even I would have gave it a 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
I'd
even
back that up.
I'd give it an 8. 1 through 5. I'd give it an 8.
But it doesn't matter. Let's move on.
That's fair. Okay.
Okay, so all right, all aboard the Segway.
Yeah, Brad, come on.
Well, that was way. I mean, I tried.
You
but
just do
were-
it too
but
soon.
You were guys like Game of Thrones.
Have you ever heard that it's
Slap that mic. Brad.
what is it? It's an idea. It's impossible to stop an idea.
I said
whose time
all
has come.
aboard the
notes,
Segway.
bro.
Yeah, he got notes on chapter approved.
Awesome.
So like, how about you
90% of it
take
is
notes on the
making
popular
fun
things
of
we
Brad.
talk about?
Okay, so
And you.
to preface
I'm
this,
all for that.
to preface this, chapter approved 2019, the annual points update. Okay, I'm not
Yep.
going to call it a game update because it's not. It's only points.
No, it's not. It's got
No,
ru- it's got-
they're doing data slates and stuff too.
got-
Are
There's-
they?
Yeah, there's a whole
They
section.
haven't
in chapter-
traditionally done that.
it's got like new game modes too, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like that nobody plays.
I
Well,
mean,
because they're
I mean, I've
People play
I've
it.
seen I've seen a fair amount of stuff from chapter approved, not
Yeah, not
the
the
field manual, whatever
Yeah,
you want to
not
call
the-
it.
What
I
is
do
that?
like that it's two
Munition
books.
There,
It's all
two
the
separate
points.
books, and yeah, the field manual is the points cost for every model in the entire game,
So-
and those reflect the new updated.
And they
points.
did it. They did it this way so that next year you can throw the Munitorum thing away with the new points come out, but chapter approved is supposed to stay relevant now.
Yeah.
Not
So-
that it wasn't before, but now they're like, hey, this book stays on your shelf because it's a gaming supplement.
I guess that's fine.
I
but-
like
I
it
mean,
a lot.
there's no. It's
think
the
it's-
same
I just
price
wish-
as it's always
I
been.
just wish they
And,
wouldn't.
and it's
I want-
2 books now,
Yeah.
right? You get both
It's
the
just
books
better.
for the same
Yeah.
price. It's just
Oh,
it's
it's the
just,
same price?
So-
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just better. It's just
Okay.
better
Yep.
organized that way.
Okay, that's
I think
fine.
Yeah, now they just
I
come
was
in
gonna say,
as a bundle together.
if they were gonna make the books
Separate.
No,
separate-
you don't buy them separately. They
No.
buy them together.
Oh, okay, I'm
The
perfectly
General's Handbook did the same thing this year.
perfectly fine with it. I thought it
Yeah.
was gonna be more cost, in which case I would have preferred the
Yeah,
points to
I
come
agree.
out online for free.
Real quick,
But
I have to
same price,
backtrack
I'm
for a
fine.
second. Jake Campbell was like, so the rating scale for Game of Thrones, so far we have a 75%, a 6, and a C minus.
Dude, keep reading, because I covered this already in the comments.
That's really funny.
Eli says
I did
it's
say out of 10.
consistent. And then Tony said, Tim is just really bad at planning. Hard to be consistent.
It was my idea. I said out of 10.
I followed it.
That's so funny.
That's so funny.
Okay,
So
so
you can't rate things out of 10, right? It's a flawed scale.
okay, I'll give it
Just saying.
60% then. We'll do out of 100. I'll do 60%.
Still just gave it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't change my rating.
All right.
Okay,
Anyway,
at 59.
Okay.
anyway so
That
what do you
was
want to
really
start?
funny.
You want to start
Okay.
chapter
Well,
approved?
let's talk about the.
I have something.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Poxwalkers did not go down enough.
They went
points.
up in
No,
points.
Plague Bears
No,
went up.
Plague Bears
Oh.
went up.
Poxwalker's actually
the other
down
model
in
that
points.
he wants to play
Yeah.
with.
and shocker, he's ungrateful.
Yeah, they only went down 1 point. They needed to go down 2 points.
All right, let's
On the
talk.
side.
Let's talk the gaming stuff first, and then we'll talk points.
Okay, okay.
Because we it's real easy to get bogged down on points, and most people don't
So,
care.
do you know
Literally, that
anything
whole
so
article
far?
was about points.
I know.
So I
It's-
guess I'll just continue to shut up
That's
and
the
not
most.
talk.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. That's the most important thing about chapter approved.
I'll just be over here.
Yeah, no,
I did
that's
try
fair. That's
to-
what's most
I
exciting.
But I
tried
do
to
wanna
link an
talk about,
article
like-
that had
Have
like
do
an
you know anything?
analysis.
Go ahead. Try to
Tried
cut
to
down on
link an
side
article that had an analysis that wasn't just points. But yeah, it's mostly all those articles.
The points are the most important part of chapter approved.
That's the most I've ever cared about in a chapter.
Yeah, and that's fair. What were you saying?
How much do you guys know about the other side? Like the
I don't
like
know
the
a ton
rules
about. I know
updates?
that there's.
I know. I saw the data slates. I saw most of them were demons. Other than that, what else did they?
I mean, they're
changed
not
some
like
forts,
they're not
too.
like huge updates.
No, they're not.
Um,
They're just bringing them more in line with everything else.
yeah, and they publish them like the fortifications like every year for some reason.
yeah.
Let's see. So they changed like the open play. They changed stuff for open play, narrative play, and
Well,
like,
they've
match
added
play
stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. So they have the open war cards, which I'm a huge fan of. I think they're super cool.
Did they update them or something?
No, they added new
Oh,
ways.
there's an army generator and stuff
yeah,
too.
they added new ways for you to play with
Oh,
your
yeah.
the army generator is really cool. I'll talk about that a little bit because I've watched a couple review videos on them, but the
Just keep going.
so the let's see, they have the open war cards. They've added new ways for you to be able to like play with them. So they have a few different like methods of like, so it'll be like, say we're playing, you will pick 3 deployment zones out of the deck, and then I have to pick one of those, and then I'll pick 3 objectives and give them to you, and you have to pick one of those, and then like we keep going back
Oh,
and
so
forth.
they added the Legion game setup.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of idea. That's
So,
cool.
Did you know that's
and
my
then that's just one way. Then there's like there are other ways too. But it's just they took a product they already have and were like, hey, we came up with some ideas for how you on how to use this.
That's my
Yeah.
favorite way to pick a restaurant to eat with Brittany.
Yeah, pick 3 and then
Pick
she has-
3, and then she has to pick
Jessica
one.
and I do that a lot too.
She doesn't like to play that game because she still can't choose.
It's too hard.
You lose.
So what?
Can I interject real
Yeah.
quick? What were the match play things?
So they added a couple new like Eternal War missions.
Okay.
They didn't. The videos I watched didn't go into what the missions were.
Okay.
They didn't add a full 6 this time. From
They didn't?
From what I
Interesting.
understand,
Well,
They-
hopefully
I thought
they're
there
a
were
little-
6 and 6.
at least like from what I heard. I might be wrong.
I know
but,
there's at least 2.
I
from
don't.
what
They
saw.
yeah. I think
But
they.
I didn't get any rules.
I think they added like 4 Maelstrom ones, and I
Okay.
think they added 2 Eternal. Again, I might be wrong.
Okay. Okay. No, I
The primary things with I had heard that they were doing like competitive missions, but I haven't heard anything about that.
Okay, because that's I mean
I
that's
heard
been
there
one of
is
my
a
biggest
rumor.
That's one of my biggest gripes with Games Workshop is they are horrible at coming up with actual tournament-based missions for their game. They come up with match play missions, right? But they're always just really simple.
I've always
simplified
enjoyed the
and-
GW missions, though.
Yeah,
I
don't
don't.
have
I've
the-
never.
I
I've
don't
never
have much
hated them,
problem.
but for some reason they're just not popular within the tournament scene.
Well, they're not. I mean,
They're not.
ITC is like super refined, right? And then like
Yeah, I also don't think that the variety is balanced with armies,
Yeah.
right? So like ITC missions are supposed to be all very, very similar.
the
in
biggest thing is
aspect.
progressive scoring. You
Yeah.
score every turn, and like Maelstrom, you do. Or Eternal War mission, or not Eternal War. It's Maelstrom, right?
It's Maelstrom and Eternal War. Maelstrom's the objective.
Eternal War, you score at the end of the game, like so you fight and then just score at the end
I mean,
for the most part.
Sort of. One of the new Eternal War missions that I did see, it's a game with 6 objectives, and then has your slay the warlord, linebreaker, first strike, but then you have your 6 objectives. I pick which one is number 1, and then you will pick which one is number 6. And then we randomly determine which of the other objectives, like we roll to see what their number is.
Okay.
And then starting at the second battle round, the end of the battle round, I believe, an objective will be
Disappear.
removed from the table.
Oh.
And you do that throughout the rest of the game until there's only 1 in 6 left.
That's a fun
and-
way to play, but man, tournament wise, like
Yeah,
can you
yeah,
imagine
no, it's
LVO
atrocious.
losing to that? Well, my thing disappeared.
Yeah,
sure,
that would
and-
be.
and- but
See
then
this-
there's
See this troll?
I heard Poxwalkers went down 300,000% in effectiveness. Let's see. What else was there?
yeah, but I mean that.
But yeah, no. And you also score at the end of every turn or battle round based on who holds the most objectives.
Okay. Well, at least
Okay.
there's that. But like I said, that would be, like Tim said, that would be a horrible, horrible mission to play at something like LVO.
Competitive
Where-
level.
Where you
I
have
agree.
It's where you have random objectives just disappearing.
Jason, are you going to LVO? They got more tickets for sale. Like they're trying to hit 1,000 players.
You buy the merch?
You
That's
buy the
insane.
merch.
Okay, so
Last I knew, you weren't going.
I think they added some. I know they have a section on linked games.
Linked
Like it doesn't say it's not campaign necessarily, but like
okay.
there's I don't know. The
That-
first
that's,
chapter
that's
approved.
probably in the narrative.
I don't know where it's
section
at. The
somewhere.
first chapter had or first chapter approved.
Why did I
Sorry,
bother reading this article, man?
had
We're gonna get there.
the first chapter approved had like a paragraph about campaign play.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you can play campaigns. And we're like, I know that. Like, give me some input
That
on
sucks,
like,
Jason.
you know
Give
what
me
I
some
mean?
cool
But-
rules, some cool themes, some cool. Yeah, no, I get it.
So I mean, and there's more stuff in there. It's 110 pages or whatever before
Yeah.
the points. So
Yep. I mean, because it's 2 different books.
yeah.
That's like crazy. There's quite a bit of stuff.
Well, they could have said, "Hey, here's your 85-page pamphlet."
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh yeah, the army generator. That's
Oh, yeah.
that's pretty cool too. Basically, it's like a D66 table where you roll.
They love those.
And yeah, they love those.
Did you say name generator?
No, there are
What
some.
No,
yeah.
there's a crap.
But
load.
the each of the supplements has one. But basically, like you'll roll, and then it will give you like not a detachment exactly, but it'll be like, hey, you get an HQ, 3 troops, and a fast attack. Or you could swap out the fast attack for a heavy support, and it's like these are like your options. And then like when you roll everything, you got to like go through and pick. But then there are other ones where it's like you just don't get an HQ. It's like, hey, you get 2 troops and an elite, whatever. So like you could get like an HQ early, but then never get one again. I was like,
I
hey,
need to
this,
play
this
more
is really
games
this
like
is really
that.
cool,
Just more
and like,
random,
it'd be a
fun,
good way to
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
just
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
just a cool way to play.
So,
Let's talk about those points.
yeah, we can talk about points.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
that's
That
about
article
all I
had a
know.
really cool thing. They called it Hero Hammer. Because
Yeah.
they talked about all the characters got the point reduction.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
That seems like a really cool thing. Like that seems like Pokemon.
It was like a.
Like, can we just put 2 models on the table and battle it out?
Oh, you could have always.
Let's
done
do that. That sounds fun.
That's how Space Wolf and Dark Angel players was all
That
their games.
literally sounds way more
Don't play
fun
a
than
full
all
game.
of 40K.
I will respectfully
Kill Team.
disagree.
Absolutely.
Can we just put it in like an arena style?
Yeah.
Like,
Do whatever you want.
There's a kill team that's kind of you can make it like a 1v1.
Do
Yeah.
they have evolution? Like, is there a Pokevolve?
Yep.
What am I looking at?
I don't know. I guess hold this.
Oh, that does it for all my.
Do you guys have any?
That's the only thing you had?
No,
That's what you've been waiting for?
All right, guys,
yeah.
you can carry on.
Go ahead.
Back to that first book.
But yeah,
Pokemon!
So Morty didn't get reduced in points.
No, neither did
No,
Magnus.
but Deathstroke
so.
Terminators
They really-
went down
they
10
didn't?
points.
No, they didn't
Yeah,
get reduced.
so
in
what?
Oh,
points.
they had rumors that they were.
Yeah, Cult
Wait.
Marines didn't go up a wound either.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
that
So,
sucks.
well, that's
Yeah.
one thing that I know.
And
that
I
was-
don't think they all are either, because you saw Noise Marines, for instance, got reduced down to 13 points,
Wow.
which is a lot. However,
They're
they're not going to
garbage.
give that model 2 wounds. They're just not going
Not
to
at
13 points a
points.
model. It's not garbage actually. 1 wound it might be, but they like for 5
I put
dudes.
this out there, I'm gonna
for
pull back a
5
little bit.
dudes, you can get 20 attacks on
Yeah, I
the
know.
charge. Like or if you get charged.
We can talk about Blood
one-
Angels a little
one-
bit, and then you're like, oh, okay, I guess that wasn't very many attacks.
One thing that the article did say that I shared with Tony was that a lot of the rumor, or maybe it was a different article that I read, was a lot of the rumors were like just wrong, or at least
somebody
not
literally
chapter
lied.
approved.
Somebody made something up
Well,
and
Brad
put it
said
out
that
there.
it couldn't be.
No, like there were blatant lies.
Oh,
like,
dude, this year was awful for rumors.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just false rumors. This year was really bad about it.
I don't know.
It's probably a good thing.
I don't
possibly.
think I saw as many bad. I'm like I don't think this year was as bad for rumors. At least this chapter proved was as bad for rumors as they
There
were
was
as other
there-
years.
I heard it was.
I've never seen a blatantly false rumor like that.
Dude,
Like,
like-
this
like-
Oh,
guy-
I've seen them. I've seen
They
them
were
before.
saying, like, guardsmen are going up to 5 points.
You know what? No,
and,
I'll
like,
challenge that because I literally saw someone make up rules for like it was either last edition. Actually, I think it was this edition for when the Dark Angels Codex came out. And they're saying they're going to launch the Lion, and they literally had made up rules with a made up data slate for the Lion.
I don't know why
itself.
people do. People
they
do that
made
for
a-
everything.
They made a data slate for Lehman Russ.
Yeah,
but, like,
as
fall
a
into chaos.
corn demon. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
People
stupid.
make box art and cards for Legion stuff. Like they
Magic
put out.
cards,
There was a
too.
Rancor expansion that somebody.
I don't know why
Fake magic
people do
cards,
that.
too.
They
It
put a
doesn't-
lot of work into it.
What
don't
about the
get it.
Mutini guys?
But yeah, like that.
We
and
need
that
those.
Jawas.
But
as soon as
that
they show up, man.
but that was
Just
a
black
pretty,
and brown. All you need to paint them.
That was a
They're
pretty
done.
egregious rumor. Like all the like I don't even know where the hell it came from, but like all the extra rules they typed up, all the like.
Well, that's just. That could have been somebody doing it for fun, though. You know what I mean?
Trollery, maybe, but-
Well, no,
someone
not even
else-
trolling. Like maybe they play their games with. You know what I mean?
Oh, maybe, and then those rules just got leaked out, and then people
know,
were like, "Holy crap!"
One
this
thing
is a...
also, it talked about war gear, and apparently that's like the same cost across the board. And that article said that was a bad thing. I don't see how that's a bad thing.
Well,
so it depends.
from book to
right?
book, like in your own book, it's not. But like,
Guard last cannons and missile launchers went down another 5 points.
Yeah.
15 points a model.
we have
now,
nothing.
which
Yeah, there's nothing to put them on.
is- you got heavy weapons teams and Lehman Russ.
Yeah, but you
That's
put them
it.
on heavy. Like, why would you ever put heavy weapons teams on the field?
So
Where,
wait,
where
what-
they're visible. Like, why
So,
would you do
but
it?
The point I was trying to make is
I was
that
just about
like
to- I was
that's
just
a
about to-
balancing tool.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
you want to balance it, but that article made it sound like it was a really
Listen,
bad thing.
balancing is
Well, a
not
last
in
cannon on
GW's
a
book,
marine
all right?
and a last cannon on a little human bug like are two different things. You know what I mean? Like,
bug.
and to be fair, marine last cannons are objectively better now because they start the game in -4. Mine can never be -4.
Sure, I get it.
I don't have. You know what I mean? Like, there's
Yeah.
just no.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. It's
I
it's a problem. It's a problem
I
as a
just thought it was
whole
crazy.
with
Just- it
because
was
that
funny.
was an issue at the start of the
You're not
edition.
you're not going to see
you
them
saw
still.
you saw a lot, and there was a lot less differences between models with heavy and special weapons because they were at differing costs at at the beginning of the edition. So melee weapons, it definitely makes a lot more sense on because you have guys with differing weapon skill and strength
Why-
and
like,
movement and stuff like that.
There's not a single thing in the Marine Codex that hits on a 4, and most of the things
Not
in my
anymore,
book
no.
hit on a 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like to have one single shot, like I've never thought they should be the same points. I
So
always
you're
thought they
saying
should be
that-
different book to book.
Well, yeah,
Last
but-
cannons should be different for you than they are for
the
Marines.
Marines, yeah.
The
Like
only
cheaper
problem
for you.
Yeah.
Than for
They're
Absolutely.
25 points for a space
And they
marine,
are. I
and
mean,
they're
they're
15 points
for
for a
me.
guard.
The only
for a guard.
So-
problem with that is how do you so where do you factor in your points cost for your ballistic skill then?
Well, where do you factor in points for doctrines?
Well, that's based on opportunity cost, right?
Doctrines
So that's
is
not.
the
you're
best.
not- yeah, it is because you can't.
But your opportunity is to just not have doctrines, so you're not gonna. It's not a viable choice.
well, yeah, sure. So at the point right now, you would want to choose doctrines instead of not doctrines.
Right. So
So-
it's like
So
automatically.
from the outside looking in, so if you have two guys who are holding the same gun, and somehow this guy's better at it than that gun, that skill should have a cost then.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the
the
gun.
gun itself. Exactly.
It's the same gun,
Right?
right?
That's
Yeah.
That's been the
Models
argument.
should be different points.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where we had it
Gun
before.
shouldn't.
Now
But
we've
sometimes you can't like.
Also,
I guess that's not
Jason,
the case.
Jason,
Is
I'll
that what you're
interject
saying?
there because
No, I
I
mean,
actually
it-
think servers hit on 5s. So no, they do not hit on 4s.
That's funny. But, I mean, the point is like there's not a lot in the Marine book that.
Right.
Well, they if you go through that article that Jake shared, like the Marine stuff, they said that most of that didn't change
Right, because
because
just
they
got their
already
book.
made it overpowered.
Yeah.
yeah, they just got a new book like a
Yeah.
few months ago. So I mean, they probably had very minor.
I will
changes
say
in
I think
chapter proof.
as long as I've been playing 40K, I think current Marines are the most broken anything I've played against.
I don't know.
I can't.
There was some.
I
pretty-
never played against like the 2-up.
I played
rerollables.
against what 4 or 5 Wraith Knights last edition. That was pretty dumb. There was the there was Marines last edition, which were pretty.
Yeah,
stupid.
but like they
The
still.
what was it? The Skyhammer Annihilation Force. That was pretty wild.
that was dumb.
right, but
That was
like
pretty good.
like I
That was
think,
pretty good.
but still, it
So-
didn't win events like Marines are winning
So
events
what-
right
yeah,
now.
what-
Like it's
It looks like they broke Marines,
clearly.
and then they shifted everything around to be competitive with Marines.
I don't know if they
that
did.
seems
So,
to be.
I mean,
yeah,
that's
they-
what
they
they're
haven't
trying to
either.
do. We don't know.
Yeah,
yet,
that,
right?
that
It's
seems
not
to be the
released.
direction they're heading in. Is
Yeah.
they've come out with a new this new
So,
idea to
Let,
where.
let me finish my
Go
thought
ahead.
real quick. Isn't that just power creep? Like, isn't that
Power
just
creep's
saying,
inevitable, but yeah,
That's just
yeah.
saying let's make
Yeah.
everything at this level because we broke it.
Mm-hmm.
So then
Jake
it doesn't
Danny.
matter.
Yeah, I mean,
Like then what? Then what does it matter?
I don't think
Just
it was
buy
enough.
Marines, everybody.
Dude, that's where we're at.
Just
That's
buy
where we're at.
Just buy Marines until your army gets bumped up to the level they're at.
Yeah.
right?
So
No,
DW
it's-
needs
See,
to
now,
sell kits.
I still don't think that Marines are gonna win the LVO.
Really?
I don't
Who do
know how
think's
you
gonna
think
win?
that.
I
Who's gonna
mean,
win
like-
the LVO?
I mean, every super major since the release, they have not won.
There's only been 2 though.
I think there's been 3. There's been
Nova,
there's been
SoCal.
Nova, SoCal.
In both of those, they were a Tau player beat a Marine player on the top table.
No, it's SoCal. It was Guard and Knights versus Tau at top table.
Was it Imperium?
Yeah.
Well, there's been a lot that's been changed since then, and because of chapter
That was
approved.
before
very
Imperial,
well.
or
So, like,
Iron Hands, right?
We really
Nova
don't.
was before Iron Hands. I'm
we
pretty
really
sure it
don't
was.
know.
No, it wasn't. They played.
I'm almost positive Nova was
don't
before
think so.
Iron Hands.
I don't think
You
so.
very well might see Guard and Knights come
Nova
back
was before Iron Hands.
to top tables simply because Knights
pretty
went down
sure.
by a
Think so?
lot in chapter proof too.
But chapter approved. We
I
have
don't
no
think you
idea
got
how
an Imperial Fist out there.
we don't know how the point cost is going to affect the
know.
meta. So like, it could drastically change
Dude,
things.
and
I
Marines
think
didn't get point
Chaos-based
increases,
Marines-
so like I think we're still.
That's,
Well, because
Yeah.
that was my point. in
Again,
time.
the chapter
If they
approved was
didn't touch
written.
what they did to them.
Well, chapter approved was also
So-
written, months before the Marine book came out, and GW was still worried that the Marine book wasn't going to make Marines good.
I
Yeah,
heard that.
we
like,
might
that's
see-
not what I've heard. Okay, I read that, and that's not what I've heard from people that I've talked to.
So did
You know
they,
what I'm saying?
Did they reduce points to the Space Marines in chapter approved?
in some of their Forge World things, like all of their dreadnoughts, barring the Leviathan dreadnought.
They didn't give
all
the
went down.
Leviathan a point drop.
Nope.
Are they not
That's-
paying attention?
that's-
Like nobody's
that's-
playing that thing.
That's good.
I'm
Dude,
trolling. I'm
dude,
trolling.
that
I,
thing.
like, it-
but
how long does it take to get a model from Forge World? Because I might buy one
Dude, they're-
tonight.
dude,
Three.
they're-
Why not buy one? Why not buy 3?
Because
he has a mortgage.
That's fair.
Yeah, that end I don't want to run a list with 3. Like you can make one unkillable, then they'll
That's
just
half your-
kill the other 2.
That's half your list too. They're like 400
It's-
points.
Three-
Eli,
300
Eli
and,
just said,
like,
Yeah.
18,
Eli
something
just
like
said,
that.
isn't it sad
Almost
that the
half your
first thing
list.
people think of when somebody wins a tournament is the army they're playing and the list composition as opposed to the skill of the player? I don't think that's how it is.
Well, Dakota's
That's not-
talking against that right now because the 2 separate Tau
Oh
players
yeah,
won those events,
yeah.
right?
Sorry, like I was saying, like Marines have not won a super major since their release. Like people have not had enough time to really develop the skills of playing
No,
the
but
army.
more importantly,
Um,
they've dominated
oh sure,
RTTs.
No, you're absolutely
and
right.
GTs.
So
they're
and regular major, like just
we do, I noticed the same thing in Magic.
which is
It's-
a negative experience for normal players.
So
I'm
like,
sorry.
when it comes down to the finals, the better players win, and
I think we've seen that in 40K also.
Well, yeah. So like, even if there's a big bad Magic deck that's going around that needs to probably obviously get banned, it might not win the tournament. What you really want to look at is statistics of, like how good did lists do. Like when this past summer a Magic deck, there was a particular deck winning 66% of their game ones, and that's not good for a healthy
I think
meta.
Marines, the last time I checked, they were over 70% win rate.
So I mean, so like,
That's without that's with
70. You shoot for 50, right?
yeah,
That's
you
what
want
50.
you want
Yeah.
so
Like
that's
forty-
70%.
like 47,
How many games
53
is
is
that,
like
though?
the
How many tournaments? Excuse me, not games.
Go to 40K stat. I couldn't even tell you. It's
listen
plenty.
to 40K Stat Center sometime.
Okay.
They talk about a lot of this, and it's
a problem.
It floors
Okay.
me.
Well,
Like
I'm
how,
just-
how
I'm
good they're
like-
doing.
Like,
I'm not talking 70% of the games at
I'm not-
Acropolis. This is worldwide.
no, I know, but I'm not a statistician at all. But you do need like a proper
Dude,
amount
it's-
of tournaments. Like if there hasn't been like
You would be
if there's
amazed-
been like
it's
if there's been
hundreds
like
of
8
events.
tournaments
You
and they
would-
won 6,
you would be
like, that's
amazed.
Not,
No,
that's
it's
not good.
hundreds.
Actually,
this is-
no,
this is
Brett,
a cro-
that's a
yeah.
viable. That is a viable trend.
It is
Absolutely.
across
6 out of 8.
It is
Yeah.
across hundreds of games.
If your sample
games
size
and
is,
events.
is 15,
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's
Probably
not what I'm saying.
thousands of games
I'm saying
right
your
now.
sample size is
Oh,
8.
games, sure.
so if you're
Yeah.
regardless,
If
there's
hundreds
a
of
lot
events,
more
yeah.
than 8 tournaments been running, and
No,
And-
but every weekend tournaments are played, and every weekend it's Marines winning.
also numbers of
I'll look it up.
lists
so you're
in those
talking about
tournaments.
confidence interval. So you can make an assumption based off of 5. But
Okay.
your confidence will be lower.
Yeah,
Much
You're
lower.
gonna have
Yeah.
you're gonna have much lower
But
confidence.
The
Also-
more
That's
data
your
you
that's your
get,
give or
the
take.
higher-
Also, it's
yeah.
not just
Yeah.
it's
The
not
higher
just the amount of
confidence level.
tournaments. Let's say you have 8 tournaments with 50 players in each tournament, and so you're going to take a look at all those games.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a lot more than just.
Yeah,
Okay.
but what if there's 50 players and 46 of them are all Marines?
And
And
we're-
that-
and
that's
that
a- and that's-
skews it.
and
That
that's a-
skews it.
That skews
Yep,
it,
and
but
that's
that's
a problem,
also
too.
that also
Stats.com.
shows an unhealthy.
Yeah.
so you have
balance.
to.
It
So,
shows
meta.
unbalanced.
Hey, and I want to be clear too. Like this, we're not just bitching about Marines.
We're
Like,
bashing Marines till
Oh,
they
we are.
get down.
Oh,
no, I'm happy. I am absolutely 100% happy Marines.
but
are
yeah,
good.
anyway, hey,
100% happy.
you're 100% happy with
That-
where we're at.
No, with that Marines are good.
No, Marines aren't good. Marines are broken.
What-
No, like they're objectively
Never-
broken,
never
right?
mind.
Yeah,
Never mind.
they're super
No, I mean,
good, and,
but just
and
be,
they
be clear. Are you you're okay?
I was
that
I was
they're-
trying to, but then you interrupted me and said something I didn't say.
What did you
He
have? the floor.
I've
disagreed
said I'm
with you.
100% happy that Marines are good.
And
you
I will-
said,
I
you
will
said
agree
you're
with that.
100% happy that we're at where we're
Okay.
at, and I'm like,
What
no.
what are you, Brad?
Okay,
I know
look,
what I said. What
he-
what are you
he's trying?
saying?
He's trying to say Marines have been bottom tier garbage the entire edition.
They made top 8
And
at
I'm-
LVO last year.
Okay, with
Top 8 at LVO.
Sure.
I
All
don't
right,
want to
that's
hear
like
it.
that's like saying
Poxwalkers
that's
have
like
been
saying
too
Necrons are
high
good.
for too long.
Okay,
Necrons
so
didn't make top 8.
So barring the Gilliman list, everything else has been garbage.
I'm glad-
They were not
it is-
garbage. That is, they weren't garbage.
Look, just you've got 40K Stat Center pulled up. You read it, but it,
I
it
don't
was
have it pulled
they
up,
they
but-
weren't they weren't good. And
need a
they,
referee.
They definitely weren't as good as like anywhere near last edition.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a breath of fresh air that it's like they've introduced a new faction into the game.
Yeah, no, like I said,
because of their
I
buff.
think that's
Yeah, but
hyperbolic,
if you
dude. I
take-
really do.
so,
Like,
again, from the outside looking in, if you take something that is bottom tier and then immediately it's top tier, that's a problem.
No, I'm not saying it's
Not
not
business-wise.
No, it's
Never mind.
and I'm not arguing that
not
it's
business-wise.
that their current power level is a problem because I think it is. I think
I don't
think
play
that
it, so
they're
I
too
can't
good
talk
and that they
intelligently.
I don't think they
Just,
need to be
you know.
toned down a ton, but their offensive power needs to be curved downward.
Yeah,
for
well,
sure.
like
I
I was
do-
like
Just-
I've been trying to say, I'm happy they're good,
Because
right?
they can still
been bad
die.
for a while, and they really haven't gotten any. Given the whole edition, they really haven't gotten very many cool like new rules, and especially with the start of the edition.
I'm
when they,
doing the blinking thing. I don't mean to. Like, I don't mean to be condescending, but like, are you not like? Are you being genuine? Like that they haven't gotten any cool new rules?
Before the supplements.
Yeah. What?
Silence.
What?
I
Yeah, before the supplements, they were pretty stagnant. Not to mention their chapter tactics didn't. Them and Chaos are the only ones where their chapter tactics don't encompass the whole freaking army, and it's been like that for 3 years.
it's not that way anymore.
No, Not
I
for
don't know
Space,
why- I don't know
Space
why-
Marines. No, you're right. But
Space. I don't know why Chaos
Chaos
didn't
on
get that
brain.
update.
That's I don't know. I don't know.
that's,
I mean that's all besides
How
the
many
point.
armies got?
I'm just glad that they're like I said. I'm glad that they're good. But the problem is
Eli.
they took it too far in the other direction. Right? They came up with all this other crap
Eli's
that
had
made them
enough.
too good and just kind of
Eli's had enough.
swung the meta. And there's not a lot of armies. There might be one or two that can keep them in check at all. And
You
that's the
guys
issue.
complain when we talk about movies and not enough 40K. Then we talk about 40K and now people
Dude,
are
we haven't
leaving.
talked about 40K in a while.
And
either.
listen,
Like, it's
I'm
been
going
very-
to be very transparent here. Our viewers will bitch no matter what. So let's just have a
I
good
think that's a
conversation.
constant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we should
We
loop back
appreciate
to,
you for
chapter
watching and
approved.
bitching.
There's going to
But,
be a lot. How many armies got affected with positive point increases?
Every single one except for Space Marines and Imperial Knights.
So this,
They got one.
I don't think people like two without new rules. Regardless, a lot of point drops. I would say field wise, besides Space Marines, is going to have effect on the meta.
Oh,
And so-
absolutely.
I don't think the guard ones are.
I think.
Well,
I think the guard ones are in the wrong direction. I really do.
I mean,
From what I've seen. I mean, I haven't held the book yet, but
to be fair, and then maybe they may not be good enough for Space Marines, but maybe the things that happen to guard might be good against other things that come up in the meta.
Listen. So we've been bitching about Marines for 20 minutes. The rest of 40K is not that bad. You know, I think Chapter Approved, at least on my end, was not great against the field, right? Like I feel like things got nerfed that should have been, if they want to nerf them, it was 2 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like mortars and wyverns. But you take Marines out of the mix, and I think 8th edition right now is in a pretty good spot.
It depends on who you have, right? So in terms of army composition, like Space Marines, or Chaos Space Marines, excuse me, have been bad since they're probably in a worse spot than Space Marines. were.
I would say
But
just
this
Chaos
is
Space Marines. Yeah,
This is why I blink
exactly.
at you. What do you mean? Like Chaos is literally in the top of all these
No.
events. That's why I'm
no,
asking
you're-
what do you
not
mean?
Okay, I'm trying
Not
to.
since Space Marines.
I'm trying to answer. So, Lord Discordants are at the top of the meta. That's it. You chop Lord Discordants out of that book, it's trash with binding. Like that's it. Like, can you name something else in that book
I
that's
think
good?
that's hyperbolic.
Well, can you name something else in that book
Well, I
that's
don't,
made
I
an
don't,
impact?
I don't
In the
play
Chaos
it.
Space
I don't
Marines?
play
Yeah.
it, so no, I couldn't.
Well, I mean, that you've just seen in the meta. Not even that you've played. I mean, we all know about Lord Discordants, but
Well, I mean, you play a 2,000-point game, right? And 3 Lord Discordants takes up.
but my point is they're the only things from Codex Chaos Space Marines that makes the table, and that's literally in like the past 6 months. Before that, it was Abaddon and Cultists until those got nerfed, and then and that was it, and that was all you ever saw. It's it wasn't.
that's fair.
They're a pretty.
I mean, I would say that there's a lot of
Codex.
Chaos supplements
Yeah.
that
Abaddon and
that
Cultist
pair
went
with
Yeah.
Chaos Space Marines, like Death Guard or Thousand Suns or
It
Demons.
was
all do well in tournaments, soup together with a lot of Chaos
It's
stuff.
a soup army, right? Like
Chaos is very
Chaos
soupy.
Space
Not-
Marines is a soup army.
It's a
Not
very,
necessarily though. Like
it shouldn't
like
That
they-
article
yeah,
I
exactly.
read
They
was
should be-
reading
Guard is
talked
a
about
soup
how
army.
Chaos is
Mono Guard
very
hasn't won
meant for that.
anything the entire edition.
Okay, well, that's not true.
When did name the event?
I have no idea.
I guess I'm talking like big events.
Name for what?
Mono Guard book codex
Yeah,
list
but-
that won
but look at-
nothing.
look at
it's
the-
all
And
been soup.
I definitely don't think that's true.
How many things are
I
people?
don't know what.
I would
but
like to see
But how many things are people including from the Guard Codex into their Imperial Soup lists? You see
Guard- well,
you see
what are we
guardsmen,
talking
tank
about?
commanders, heavy weapons teams. You see,
No, you don't see heavy weapons teams.
You definitely saw heavy weapons teams for a while. Mortar teams.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
There hasn't been a mortar team in a tournament list
Well,
for
I mean,
2 years.
no, there definitely
That's a
has.
pretty blanket statement that I.
yeah,
can't make.
but that's my point though. You see stuff from the
Okay,
Guard
so you
Codex
named,
all over
I mean,
the
you
place.
just named 3.
Hey, can't we all
Three
just be
data
excited
sheets.
that
Let's
that
move,
things
let's
are gonna
move back
that things
to
are gonna be
chapter approved.
changing?
and
Ogren?
the points
Well,
going
Bulgren.
down.
Oh, Ogren.
Bulgren did not go up. Ogren
Yeah,
went
which is
up.
which is hilarious because Ogren are trash. Bulgren are the good
well,
ones.
it makes me think that it was a typo. Like
Oh,
no
my
one
bad.
has
Bulgren do not need a points increase.
You're probably right.
now since Space Marines. I agree with you.
I don't think they did before.
Yeah, they did
They're
talk
42
about-
points a mile.
I mean, sure.
a
Like I
Let's
get
refer to
it.
Tony's
It
note.
might not be that.
They did talk about how mounted characters are going to Legacy.
Yeah, it's because they don't have any models for them, which I really don't like. I really
See,
don't like
I
that.
think that's a good idea.
Let people kit bash the models.
No, what that means is you can't use them.
That's what I'm saying.
But it also means you
Because-
can't make your own.
Well, I mean,
So from a hobby side, it's really bad.
yeah, but if they create their own models in 2 months, like that's the business
If,
wise,
if
that's
they
a great
do,
decision.
but the
Yeah.
problem is that they haven't yet. Like
Yeah.
Dakota's got a bunch of Space Marine characters on bikes that are just gone. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah, that
building
sucks.
50 Rough Riders that are gone.
Yeah, it sucks.
You know what I mean?
Harlequin and Nurgle, like those aren't models, right? Like,
No, they'll,
Yeah,
they'll
I-
probably go to
And I
Legacy
get it. Like
until unless
they
they come
do
out with a
need to
model form.
refresh. And 2019 seems to be a year where GWs, you know what? We're flushing this stuff. A lot of my Sigmar stuff got canned. Okay, that doesn't happen
Good
traditionally.
riddance.
No, that's a very
That
very
hurts.
rare occurrence
Yeah.
in Games Workshop.
Yeah, this is.
But they do. It does make sense at some point. Like you got to rip the Band-Aid off and,
And
reset
they
it.
talked about that in that article too, and they were complaining about how Forge World didn't get.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
Forge World didn't
And
get
that
that
is a little
treatment.
bit different because Forge World stuff is so expensive, and some of this stuff like you spend close to $1,000 on, and like, well, you can't play with it anymore, bud.
That kind of reminds me of the Astraeus, which I wanted to talk a little bit about today.
Is that a
Maybe-
big tank?
Maybe-
the Astraeus is the big.
Did it get a big
Primaris
drop?
Oh,
Marine
yeah, the
ta-
Forge
it
World
went down
tank?
a lot.
By how much?
Maybe they should just axe Forge World.
It's about it's
they-
about 700 points now,
Why would
which
they
is
do
roughly the cost of
no,
the.
it's got to be cheaper than that because it was
It
about
literally-
700
It
before
was
then.
it was
Print money.
800.
Are you sure? Because
It-
I
it
remember
was-
making one for
It
like
was,
7
it was
something.
considerably more expensive than a
My notes are
Castellan.
over. I don't need.
But
this
now
anymore.
it's about the points cost of a Castellan.
Yeah, it's better than
Say,
a selling.
can we-
well,
Can we get back to the
It-
Pokemon
it's-
I don't know.
Warhammer?
It's
I don't-
killing
I want to
power.
play that.
Its killing power might not be able to be, but it has void shields, and rules as written, void shields are not an invulnerable save, so they can be affected by cover. They can be affected by all the new marine psychic
Wow.
powers.
All right.
So, and the thing hits on 2s because it's a Forge World model, and that's just like a cliff note of all Forge World
There's
models.
too much of that.
There's way
There's
too much.
too
of that.
much hitting on
It
2s.
is utter nonsense. But now you have this enormous, like super heavy Space Marine tank that can have a 3-up invuln that works against mortal wounds.
I don't want. I
Have a
don't want.
3-up
that.
save against
At
mortal wounds.
commercials, you could
So
have
bad,
like
I
the
don't
character
want
on the
that.
screen just with a silhouette.
I got
and be like,
sick of the
"Guess that
giant Lords of War
character."
Last Edition. I don't think it's healthy for
I
the
think-
game. I don't want it.
I don't think Lords of War are an
you have
issue
a
at
chance
all.
to see the
I do.
Astraeus make an appearance.
I don't think
do.
they're a problem at all.
Well, Morty's not a problem at all. He just dies turn 1.
Yeah, well, they
Well, now you're-
last edition they were the problem.
Now you're,
this edition vehicles just started to melt,
you're-
and they're trying to bring them back this way now. But
Your not Blight Lord Terminators, your other Terminators. I mean,
Death
those
Shrouds.
went down too. But the Death Shroud Terminators.
No, Blight Lords didn't change.
they didn't. Well,
The Death Shroud
the
did.
Death Shrouds went down 10 points a model.
yeah, he knows they're
that's
25
cool.
points.
Yeah,
away.
Yeah.
they move 4 inches.
Yeah, but
Dude, turn 1, you're protecting Morty, though. I'll
Bro,
tell you what.
warp
I
time.
played against him.
You warp time them, not Mortarion.
Dude, that's not even worth it.
It's 110%
It is
worth
worth
it.
it.
For another
75
4-inch
points
movement.
to keep him alive?
No,
You
no, you
advance
advance
them. You
both
advance
times.
That's but they only advance D3. Like you're only ever gonna get another set. Like there's
14
so many
inches
there-
max.
Yeah, I get. There's so many better things. Like you can get 14
But-
inches out of like not even advancing some of these other
It
models.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because making Morty susceptible to attacks turn 1 is not a good idea.
I know. That's why you don't run Morty either.
but Morty's
No,
great.
see,
Most of the time,
That's not true
people-
because Morty
Morty did 44 mortal wounds in my last game against Cast to
How?
because he
Dude,
was
just-
protected.
He
and
went
then
off, bro.
went-
Just by
went
standing,
ham.
just by standing
he
around
went off
stuff.
like
just
dude.
by being, hey, I'm within 7 inches of you. Roll a die.
You know Ross, right?
Yeah, I know Ross.
He took a picture of it. He's like, I gotta see. He's like, I've never seen this.
Well,
He-
you have like so many units.
Oh, is it a roll you make per model or
Per
something?
unit.
Per unit. Okay.
A D 4
It
up,
was
you do
like-
D3 mortal wounds.
See, that's what I'm saying. We get Morty and like one other character, just them fighting each other.
See, in a vacuum like that, Morty will end a lot of lives.
Not if it's
to-
Well, in that
to
case,
go
it would
to
be
go
one
on his
other life.
Look, I'm not sure if this is a Brad segue, but to go off of his little Pokehammer campaign,
I like that name a lot.
Ho-
Pokey Hammer.
hashtag
Blood
Pokehammer.
Bowl, you do level up your characters.
We didn't talk about Blood Bowl at all tonight.
We're
I'm
doing it
upset
right
about
now. We got 4 minutes left.
Hold on, but we got to talk about Blood Angels.
Oh,
I guess
no,
we're
next
not
week.
talking about Blood Bowl.
No, we could
There's
talk
so
about
much
Blood
blood!
Angels next week.
Huh?
We'll talk more about Blood Angels next week.
Yeah, 'cause they come out.
Well, you're going to tell me
They'll-
about them
yeah,
tonight.
I'll
'cause
tell
I
my-
don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
they
know that much.
actually next week's a good time because they'll come out the following.
Yeah,
Saturday.
we'll do that because like I guess we went off topic a lot from Chapter Approved. I want to talk more about it. Okay. All right. What's one thing out of Chapter Approved you're happy to be seeing its points
Giving
change
up on
on?
Blood Bowl.
Happy points change wise.
Yeah.
I'm glad that the Astropath finally cost what he should. He's down to 15.
I always
How many
thought that
points does he
24
cost?
was fine.
Is that a character?
or
Wait,
26.
Is he an HQ?
No,
Wait, how many
Okay.
points does he cost?
He's
he's 15 now. Give him the last pistol. He's 15.
Holy crap!
that's
But
an
is he-
elite slot, bro.
Is he? Oh, is he
He's
like
an elite slot, but Raven Guard still exists.
Is
so
he?
in
Is
the
he like
arms
a?
of an angel?
Is he? Well, I mean, you don't even need Raven
he's-
Guard for that.
he's-
Just Eliminator.
He's a psyker.
But is he like a normal psyker? or
He's a
does he have
normal
some really
psyker that
bad
casts
rules,
smite
or-
on a d6.
just smite.
But he
no,
gets a
everything
power.
else is normal.
He can still cast a regular power.
That's not
just-
bad for 15 points.
I've literally had those astropaths tell Magnus, no, you're not
I
casting.
will.
Yeah.
I will tell nothing. I will say nothing is bad at 15 points. When you take the unit for 15 points, it's fine.
You
Space
can, only
Marines-
have, you can only ever have 3
Oh,
of them. It's not a big
units,
deal.
No, sure. I'm
Not
not.
a
I'm
big
not
deal
saying
at
it
all.
is. I just look at it. I'm like,
Twitter's gonna blow
I thought
up
26 was
with
fine.
Okay,
To drop him
caster-
in
I'm making
to drop him
memes,
an
buddy.
additional 11 points.
Yeah.
Just I was like, what?
A psyker at 15 points, he can deny normally too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's totally worth
Well,
it.
here's the thing. He was
15
15
points
points.
He can point at a unit 18 inches away, and anything within 6 of him says, ignore that thing's cover.
Yeah, I don't care so much about that.
I've never
just
had that
because-
work well for me.
Yeah,
but like,
it's-
Well, I mean, normally he's like kind of moving up the table a little bit.
for me,
and
he
it's
is.
like
That's how I
guardsman
play
that's
him.
ignoring the
18
cover.
inches, like in a guard army, is like, come on.
Yeah, I know. Well,
This
yeah.
is 18 inches, right?
Hold my
That's
beer.
9.
Hold my guardsman beer.
That makes sense.
Right here.
No,
Tell me when to
the
stop.
thing is that they
Tell me when.
pointed
Tell me
him
when. Don't you?
when they increased his points. It
No.
was before Rule of 3,
Start over.
Yeah.
right? So like with Rule of 3, like
What was he originally?
he was 15.
Oh, okay. So he's just back to where he was. Okay.
All right,
okay.
so
That's a good
all right,
point,
so
too.
what are
Rule
you
of
happy
3
with?
is-
Rule of 3 is a bad
literally
rule.
everything
Bad
in the
rule.
chaos range. I'm happy. All those points came down. I'm not sure exactly, specifically what I'm going to be happy with.
Are you
when
gonna
I-
run
when I
Abaddon?
start
You gotta
playing.
pick one thing.
Oh, dude,
You
I
should
don't
run
know.
Abaddon,
I
bro.
can't.
He went down 30 points. I think.
Possessed. I'm going to say
Abaddon's so
possessed.
good.
Possessed or something I'm looking at seriously, and I don't think they've been
You
looked at for
definitely
like
should
4
look
or
at
5
Possessed.
years.
Yeah.
What about you, Dakota? What are you happy with?
Oh, let's see. I'm
Did your
really,
Adeptus
I'm really happy.
Astartes get?
My
have an
AdMech.
answer.
Yeah,
Your AdMech.
yeah. So I'm happy. I'm happy with quite a few of the AdMech changes. The neutron laser went down another 10.
I cannot believe that
many points
book
does Neutron
keeps
laser?
getting
it's
points
100.
drops.
It's 100 even now. And
Tank?
and now the the Icarus array.
I don't know.
The Icarus array went down 10, so now that's 90.
Oh my god.
I don't get it, dude.
My fortune
So-
is crying.
we don't got a lot of time left. So what's your one thing?
My one thing. Oh God.
You think the one that proposed
it's
the
so
question
hard, I
had something
know.
in mind?
Yeah, no, okay. I
wasn't
really
overall
like
thrilled
Electro
with this
Priest
book.
going down to, I think it was to
That was me
14
last
points.
edition. Last book.
Because now I am very, very much considering running them.
All right, so
what?
Tim,
Electro Priest.
what's your one thing?
I said astropaths.
Yeah,
you
Mine-
better say
Mine is
Planeswalkers.
#Pokehammer.
I'm pretty I'm happy about Pokemon.
Mine absolutely is
I'll
a
look for
thing
that
I've
in the
been
book.
begging for this entire 2 years, and that's for Death
Death
Star
Routes.
Terminators to be 25 points.
I hate you so
Because
much.
Boxwalkers need to be 4.
We'll visit this
They are
next
better
year.
at 5. They are better at 5.
They
Cultists are 4 now.
Yes,
I don't
Yes,
think Cultists,
yes,
I don't
just
think Cultists and
mathem-
Poxwalkers should be the same.
Mathematically, 5 is better than 6, but does not mean 5 is good. So,
Why should they be 4?
because they don't do anything, it's just die. They
Yeah.
move 4 inches.
So
they have
But that's all cultists do.
they have no save. They can't shoot. They have no
do-
gun.
Yeah, but they have a
have a feel no
5-0.
pain,
Yeah,
yes, they have a feel no
which is
pain.
better than what the cultists have. They've got a 6-up save that they're never going to use,
Not against
They're
Space
slower
Marines.
than cultists too, though, right?
especially not against Space Marines.
That's-
They're
4-inch
they're
movement.
4, they're 6, but other than that, like you have a feel no, and you're fearless.
Typhus went down, right?
Cultists are losing models to
Typhus went down?
morale. You
Give
don't
me
care.
9th edition, baby.
Typhus went down,
I'm
right?
ready for 9th.
Me
Yeah,
too.
I'm
So
ready
how
for
long was it between 7th edition and 8th edition?
3
It
years?
was
Okay,
I think it was
3 years. It was
then
3
what
years.
about 6th to 7th?
2 years.
But
6 was a
also-
big ouchie, bro.
also,
5th to 6th?
That
was longer.
That was-
say
yeah,
that
that
was like
We'll be
6th
coming up
to
close to
7th
9th
years.
edition.
6th and 7th edition weren't like huge fundamental changes, whereas like 7th to 8th was an enormous shift that required
It was
them
a
to
rehaul.
rebuild
It's a
the
different game.
Yeah.
It's a different game.
Whereas 9th won't be a
No,
won't be
ninth
that.
won't be
Yeah,
the same.
this will be much more akin to 6th to 7th.
I will concede that if I bring models, if I bring 250, 300 points.
Oh my God, you have literally exhausted everyone's attention span.
Hurry up, Jake. What are you saying?
If I bring 250 points extra to make my Poxwalkers better, they might be worth it at
Who's
5
that?
points.
Is that
Typhus and Tallyman? Otherwise,
I think they're worth it at 5 points. They're worth putting on the table
I don't
and
know.
trying
I
out.
don't know what Typhus does anymore.
it increases their strength and toughness by 1,
Oh,
and
okay.
he's a second power to also increase strength and toughness by another 1.
That's so stupid.
And
Make them toughness 5.
That's so stupid.
yeah,
could
strength 5,
definitely-
T5.
And
you
they
could
come back,
definitely make
right?
them better
And
than cultists.
as long as you don't go over the starting value, they just come back
For free.
for
right?
free.
Yeah, that's way better than cultists. Like so much better.
I
Yes,
think
if I
cultists
build
should
around
be
them, they're
4
fine.
points. I don't think cultists should have ever
There just
been
needs
5
to be a
points.
way to make them faster.
No,
Can you
not
warp
with all the
time?
nerfs. They don't
you
even
warp
benefit
time?
from their they don't even benefit from their legion.
Look, I got
traits
about
anymore.
120
they
Poxwalkers, so I will
overnerfed
try it out.
Yeah.
You have 120
Well,
box
yeah.
walkers?
Somewhere around
It
there.
is
Oh,
10:01.
dear God.
All right,
Okay,
guys.
I might put them all in the
We
field.
love you. We'll see you next week.
I will see you next week.
I don't know why you're saying that. You can't
This
see
was
you
our
now.
year anniversary.
Goodbye. Shut up.
Episode 39.
Episode
right?
37. 37.
80.
I'm done.